G'day there viewers, and welcome to part 2 of chapter 3 lesson. This is going to be hopefully a quite short lesson, and what we're going to be learning about in this lesson is sustainability. Sustainability means in English to be able to continue. So for example, if you've got 2 full-time jobs, eventually you're not going to be able to continue because you're going to get too tired. So that's what sustainability means in English. But what we mean in sustainability in business is meaning resources and being able to replace a resource in one lifetime. For example, there's forests that grow in 70-80 years, so it's better to cut down those forests and use them for paper than the rainforest, which takes hundreds and thousands of years to replace and regrow. So that would be unsustainable. Chopping down a forest that grows in 70-80 years is sustainable because it will grow back in one lifetime. So sustainable examples are car sharing, fewer resources being used, also less CO2 being injected into the environment, and therefore this is more sustainable. Recycling uses fewer resources, fewer products need to be created again, therefore this is sustainable because there's less resources being used up and less CO2 being emitted into the environment when new products are made. Helping the community is sustainable because it means that community will grow and replace each other and continue on, and also they will have resources needed to grow, and the community will thrive basically. So this is sustainable, helping the community. Conserving energy will help the environment because less CO2 will be emitted, so there's less pollution going into the environment, which is more sustainable. So when we're talking about sustainability, what we're normally talking about is the triple bottom line. Triple bottom line is it needs to be think about when we're undertaking business activities. So for example, everyone needs economic growth. Economic growth means having money in your pocket, being able to spend that money on resources that you need for your house. For example, electricity, gas, all these kind of things. Everyone needs economic growth. Without it, we'd all be poor and we wouldn't have any money in our pockets, and we wouldn't have the resources that we need. Even before money, when they had barter system, people needed resources, and economic growth is part of that. Environmental protection. So whilst we're growing, what we need to do is still protect the environment. We can't grow and be irresponsible in how we do business. So for example, an example of this that I read in the paper recently, actually it was yesterday or the day before, is Selfridges. Selfridges, they've recently stopped selling water bottles because of the plastic, and the plastic gets into the sea, causes pollution, it takes hundreds of thousands of years to break down. So by not selling it, they've now cut down on that and they're acting ethically. Obviously in the short term they're going to lose money because they're not going to be able to sell water and make money from that. But in the long term, hopefully people learn about this and they will see that this company is trying to be ethically responsible, and in the long term it might help their long-term profitability, because people like to buy from ethical companies. They like to have ethical employers that look after them, and so hopefully this might companies that do act ethically, what they're hoping for is in the long term to improve their profits. In the short term they might lose profits. Social equality. Social equality means that everyone benefits from economic growth, not just the minority. Now there's been huge anger in how the recession has affected the poor mainly, and and what we want for a sustainable future is that everyone benefits from growth equally. It doesn't always happen, but that's basically what we want when we're in business, and we should promote that if we are in business. There have been situations recently which I'm thinking of. Certain companies don't want to pay the minimum wage, when the Chancellor put up the minimum wage to $7.20, they're all complaining. But then these people, they're paid very little, so they can't live on what they're paid. The businesses, what they're saying is that when we advertise for a job, then we get about 30 applicants. Why do we need to up the minimum wage? Well, this is not the point. The point is that people that are your workers are not being able to live on what they're earning. So they're below the poverty line even though they're working. This is not right. So businesses need to be more responsible, basically. So this is the triple bottom line: economic growth, social equality, rewarding people equally. That's what social equality means, and rewarding everyone fairly. Sorry, not equally, because not everyone gets rewarded equally, but they should be rewarded fairly. Okay, let's carry on. Social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility is your employer acting in a responsible way for the benefit of the company, for the society, for everyone, basically. So, for example, Toyota, this is an example of their social responsibility diagram they have on their website. So they have mutual communication with their supplier. So, for example, if they're going to suddenly have a low sales, then they need to tell their supplier straight away, so their supplier don't waste money. And this will have a mutually beneficial relationship, because they'll be able to cut prices for Toyota in the long term if they have the right information. So this will benefit everyone. Also, if the distributor dealer suddenly gets a car that is not working, they want to send it back to the manufacturer so they fix, and then they can sell the car. This will benefit everyone. More sales means better results for Toyota. It also means that the quality of the car is better if the dealer is telling them that there's something wrong with it, for example. All of these kind of things benefits everyone, and the customer. The customer gets a nice car that's safe, it will make their lives better, so it benefits everyone. Corporate social responsibility, and corporate social responsibility means taking everything into account when you're making business decisions, taking into account the supplier, the distributor, the customer, everyone, being a responsible company, basically. Promoting jobs, equality, growth, and green. These are all examples of corporate social responsibility. Fair trade is an example of corporate social responsibility. For example, rewarding African farmers, who are the main farmers, with the right amount of money for producing, basically. Using gas-fired rubbish trucks is an example of how a local authority might be sustainable and socially responsible. So how are these pictures related? It's not going to take a genius to work out that they're all examples of corporate social responsibility. So, for example, this company here, Pret a Manger, they donate their excess food to the homeless. This is good for the homeless. This benefits the company because they're getting free advertising. But, I don't think they're doing it for that. Well, they could be, but, their food is otherwise just going to go to landfill. And that's going to cost them money because they increase their rates, increase their landfill costs to the local authority or whoever they're paying. So basically, the best thing to do is to donate it. Why send it to landfill? Fair trade is an example of corporate social responsibility because they're donating the farmers with a fair pay for the produce that they're producing, that they're making. The local authority using green trucks. So this is releasing less CO2 into the atmosphere. So this is being more sustainable and socially responsible and thinking clean and green. So thank you for listening. I hope you got a better understanding of sustainability and social responsibility, and I'll see you in the next